Hello, YouTube. Today I'm going to talk about workplace diversity. I just got off of a Zoom session with some of my students, and this week's crucial conversation that we had as a group was: has anyone ever encountered workplace diversity? And if you had, would you please share those experiences? And one experience that a student shared with me actually bothered me because we as healthcare professionals, we take an oath to care for someone regardless of their race, regardless of their gender, regardless of their beliefs. And this particular student talked about a particular physician that works at the hospital that she works at, stating that he wanted his paying customers, paying patients, meaning the patients that had insurance, to receive their epidurals before any other patients that were not private paying insurance patients receive theirs. So therefore, that meant any patient that was on Medicaid or who did not have insurance, they were not going to be receiving the care that the patients who had private insurance would receive. That was one of the first things that actually bothered me really bad. The second thing that bothered me was the fact that my student, and she said it bothers her also, and she's an advocate for her patients, that Black women, I'm a Black woman. A lot of you all who may be watching my videos are Black women. So these are issues that we are faced with. This, my student went on to say that a lot of her Black patients, Black women, are often not taken seriously during the childbirthing experience. A lot of times doctors do not listen to the patients when they are communicating how they are feeling. My patient, not my patient, but my student went on to say that she had read an article, and I had read an article talking about inside the United States how over 300% of deaths that occur in OB, labor and delivery, are happening with African American females. And these females are dying from hemorrhage. And with this being said, it's either one or two things that are happening. It's either the nurses are not communicating changes in the patient's condition to the physician, or the nurse is communicating these changes in the patient's condition, and the physician is not following up on these changes the way that they should within a timely manner. And when they finally do decide to react to a situation that may have been going on for hours, it's often too late. And that mother has died. The baby may survive, but the mother may not survive. And that's another child that is growing up without a parent. And that just bothered me because we see this so often. It does not matter if a person has insurance or if they do not have insurance. If they're in the hospital for a medical reason, we as healthcare providers need to make sure and ensure that these individuals are receiving the best care at all times. I am so sick of healthcare providers and these healthcare institutions being so gun ho on money. You know, you can't put a price on someone's life, but what we can do is ensure, as doctors and nurses and physician assistants, make nurse practitioners, make sure that all of our patients are getting the care that they need, regardless of the color of their skin, regardless if they have health insurance or not. You know, we can't just say, I'm going to give this person over here this kind of care, and I'm going to give this person over here this kind of care. That is ridiculous, and it infuriates me. It just bothers me. You know, this was a very meaningful conversation that I had with my students this morning during our Zoom session. And my student who brought this up during our discussion, she said that it bothers her so much. So she has to take it upon herself to be an advocate for these patients, meaning that she has to speak on the behalf of her African American patients who are not being taken serious by their obstetrician. And that is something that is very, very, very disturbing to me. I want to know, is it disturbing to you all who may be watching this video? And if you have encountered such workplace diversity over the course of your career, please drop me a comment to let me know. I even went on to give an example of diversity that I have experienced before. You know, when you don't fit the typical picture of someone that should be in a particular position, often people will discriminate against you simply because of that. I've been discriminated against because of the glasses that I wear, the different types of glasses that I wear, you know, how I wear my hair. I change my hair often, the different types of clothing that I wear. I'm very trendy. I love clothes. I love shoes. I love purses. That's my personality. That's how I express my individuality. It does not mean that I am not qualified to do whatever job that I'm hired to do. Because for one thing that I do know, and no one can ever take that from me, I am very highly qualified to be an advanced practice registered nurse. I have had over 8 years of schooling to prepare me to be an advanced practice RN. And a lot of times people will discriminate against you in the workplace simply because they are intimidated by the amount of knowledge and the wealth of knowledge that you bring to the table. And anyone that discriminates against an individual simply because of how they look or how they may dress has something that's missing within them. They're the ones that are intimidated, and I had to learn that myself. So if I am speaking to anyone that may be encountering anything like what I just said that I have encountered before, you keep your head up. Do not let a person define who you are, because you yourself know who you are and what your wealth is. Nobody can take away your knowledge. Nobody can take away what you know. And as long as you go into your job each and every day and do what you're supposed to do, the only person that you have to give an account to is God, because you're doing what's in your scope of practice. You're following your guidelines. Just because somebody doesn't like you because of the color of your skin, that's something that they are lacking within themselves. This is Rhonda Nichelle. I am a nursing consultant. You can find me on my YouTube channel on YouTube. You can find me on Instagram at I am Rhonda Nichelle, and you can find me on Facebook. I would like to thank each and every person that has supported me, that has watched my videos, subscribed to my channels, who have reposted my videos to their social media pages. Please just continue to do that. I will be talking about some really, really, really fun and exciting things on my YouTube channel. I will engage in conversations that are deep, like the one that we talked about today, workplace diversity. Again, I would like to say I am Rhonda Nichelle. I am a nursing consultant and always a nursing educator.